big week. The big race weekend is here. I have been working so long and so hard for this half marathon. It's finally here. I don't understand where the time went. It was like two and a half months ago I signed up for this half marathon in LA. I'm doing the Nike After Dark. So this is the first time I'm doing a half marathon or any race at night, and it is 2 days away. I am going to pick up my bib, my package, and I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. It's sort of like all the feelings combined because, like I said, it's been 2 months to get here. So there is just a lot of anticipation, but I'm also just so excited because Nike just kills races and events. They always do the best activations. Everything feels so cool. The medal isn't like a classic medal on a ribbon. It's like a Nike necklace. So I already know it's going to be worth it. I'm healing from my cold that I woke up with a few days ago. So I've been resting so much this week and really taking care of myself to prepare to run 21.1 kilometers. 13.1 miles. It's like crazy. I don't even understand. But I know I can do it. I've been training. I've been messaging with so many of you on Instagram and even here on YouTube just about the journey and that I have prepared for it. I've done all the work and now I'm arriving. And now I gotta go pick up the kit, get my bib, plan out my outfit. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. I might pick something up today for like a little last minute look for the race. So we'll see. Let's head to the Grove in LA, pick up the bib, explore all the things that Nike is doing in advance for the half. Finally home, finally having some electrolytes because that was probably the longest pickup I've ever experienced. Obviously I haven't done a ton of races, but it was over 2 hours to get the bib and everything. I need to keep hydrating in time for the race. So picked up the bag. This is the bag we're going to be allowed to bring into the stadium where the race is. So because there's the concert at the end of the race, you're allowed to have things for after the race, obviously, but it has to go in this bag because it's at the SoFi Stadium. It has to be clear and I have to read up on the rules of what they allow because there's some things they just don't allow. Let's do a little walkthrough bag tour. So this is the shirt. Look how cute that is. Very actually well designed. I have a few other race shirts that are not this cute. Like this is the back. This is something I would wear again. A lot of times the race shirt, it's kind of a one and done. It's sort of like a sentimental piece that I feel like I will wear again. So pretty happy about that. Then obviously there's a variety of things that they include, which I do also love that they're giving you a good amount of things because, you pay a fee. So it's nice to know the fee goes to a couple different places, not just obviously attending the race and the organizers of the race. So I have my number, my bib number, if I need to fill out all my emergency contact information on the back. The things that are included that I'm excited about. So there are these Stinger waffle energy cookies. One is gluten-free. I don't think this one is, so I might switch with a friend who's not gluten-free. But at least these are some energy, which is really great because I might need that. A little electrolytes. This is great because I 100% will need this. I'll probably save this electrolyte powder for after the race. And I'm planning on wearing my vest that has the water bottles in it so I can at least fill up one of the water bottles with this. And then a very fun Youth to the People sunscreen. As much as it is a nighttime race, we are running at 6:30 p.m. The sun will still be up for a little bit. It is very important to wear sunscreen, so that is great. And then a Milk Makeup setting spray. Not sure if I'm going to be using a setting spray, but still very cool. I might use the setting spray for other times, not necessarily when I'm running. And then a pop socket. I forgot pop sockets are still a thing, but a nice Nike pop socket, a Nike hair elastic. This won't do much for me, but I guess like it's cool. Just some information about Beats and Beats by Dre and Apple Music, because I guess they're the partner. And then very random, but I'm assuming it's just like a marketing thing, is a new razor. I was joking with some of the girls online that we got this so that we can cut down our time, because, you know, if you shave your legs, you'll be more aerodynamic. Not really sure if I need a new razor, but maybe I'll keep this for like traveling. My travel suitcase can have this. And that is the bag. That is everything included. And I think it's a pretty decent like bag of things for the race, things that I'll use after. I do need to pick up more energy things, whether maybe another cookie, but ideally like a gel. I'm not great at eating and running. That's just not my skill set, to chew and run at the same time. So I feel like a gel may be better. I was trying to go to the running store. The mission I have had to go to this running store, and every time something happens, and today I was like, this is it. Obviously today's the day. And I get there and it's closed. So it was not today. Today was not the day. I have less than 48 hours to make it happen. So we'll see. Otherwise, there's a few other stores I think that I can find gels at that I will have to hunt down. And then I did pick up a little memorabilia piece. This nice little crop long sleeve. I love a cropped long sleeve. And I always find it so nice to have something from the race. Like when I did my 15K with Nike before, I have a hat and a t-shirt. The t-shirt is like not the best, but the hat says like women's 15K, which it's nice to have these pieces from the time of doing this, because yes, memory serves us well, but sometimes our memories start to fade. And it really is like collecting items from moments in your life. And not to be a hoarder, because again, I will wear this. This is probably what you will see in many upcoming vlogs. It is about recognizing that I did it and giving myself a little like physical reminder that I did it, because to be honest, once you're done the half marathon, a week goes by, it's out of your mind. It's over. And I don't necessarily want that feeling, especially after working so hard for this. So I'm excited to wear this cutie little top. I got it in a medium so that it would be oversized. I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling more prepared. Tomorrow I'm going to go for a little shakeout run. That is going to be my movement of choice tomorrow. And hopefully the cold is like 80% gone. I'm feeling a little stuffy still today. Like my ears are still not great. But other than that, I would say we're on the up and up, and I'm gonna feel great for race day. Less than 24 hours to the race. And I would say I'm starting to feel a little nerves, did I prepare enough? Am I ready? How's it gonna go? Sort of all those thoughts. But when I was on my shakeout run this morning, I did just like a light 2K, and it felt easy, it felt good, but I was thinking a lot about it while I was running and then after running. And I realized that so much of this journey with running for me hasn't just been about getting back to running, getting back into activity, but really reminding myself that I'm already good enough, which kind of goes against some of the things that people talk about in running. Like a lot of people, even when I was picking up my bib and checking in for the race, you know, everyone's like, oh, what's your goal time? Like, how are you feeling? I think it's so normal for anyone, myself included, extremely myself, to have these goals, to set these markers, to constantly do better than we did before. And what I've really been realizing with running is it doesn't have to be about that, because this is a hobby. This is not my career. This is not something that truly needs to be growing and evolving. So by changing my framework of my mind and the way that I look at this, I realized that I've already done enough. Even if my time isn't great, even if I don't feel my best on the run, I have continued to show up. You have seen it if you've been here over the past 2.5 months. I have continued to show up when I haven't wanted to, when I've had migraines, after an assault while running. So many different things could have set me off course. And instead of thinking about the end of the journey of what's my time going to be, how am I going to feel, how do I look when I'm running? Like, those running photos never look good. I already know that. So I'm trying not even to think about how the running photos are going to look. But all these things about the end of the run is sort of what can feel very consuming about, did I do enough? Am I going to be good enough? Will I be better than my last time? Will this be a new mark that I have to surpass next time? Will there be a next time? Like, there's so many questions that come up about the end of the race, of the journey, of this whole process. And I want to focus on the journey, that I continue to show up for the past 2.5 months, 3-4 times a week. I continued to show up running. I was doing Pilates. I was doing weight training. I have shown up for myself so many days when I did not want to. And that to me means I've already succeeded, because I am so easy to fall into this, I must do better. I'm constantly moving the goalpost of what success looks like, of what achieving looks like, especially as an entrepreneur. That has been like ingrained in me, that your best always has to be better than last time. And you always have to be striving to do more, to improve, which I love self-improvement. You know that if you're here. I love personal growth. I love exploration of self. But part of that is also recognizing everything doesn't have to be about getting better or doing more or moving the goalpost to succeed, overachieve, all these things that I have so deeply defined myself with. I don't need to, because I've already done enough. No matter what happens tomorrow, the past 2.5 months have been proven that I've committed to myself. I've been so disciplined, slightly delusional at times, but I've been so disciplined, and I have shown up, and I want to keep that energy that I've developed over the last 2.5 months after this race. Not for the next race or the next milestone or the marker or goalpost, but just for my life and my attitude of not always having to better. Like, I don't want to be on this constant self-improvement journey that I can't love myself where I am in this moment. And that is really my deep thoughts, my epiphany I had while I was running 2K. And now I'm stretched. I've been carb loading with sweet potato. I've had a lot of protein. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna have a coffee in the morning. Like, I'm already excited to start the day. And I'm going to let those nerves just remind me that it's because I feel something for this. It's not a bad thing to feel nerves. Feeling nerves is often a good thing. It means you actually care. So I'm reminding myself that it's because I care. I care about this journey. Yes, crossing the finish line is a part of the journey, but it is not the whole journey. nerves. The nerves are starting to get very real. I don't know if the end of day race is better than the morning race, because in the morning, obviously you get up early and you're kind of just stressed and tired, but I've been sitting here. I've been up since 6:30 in my feelings, being like, oh my gosh, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm excited. So a lot of emotions have happened, but I'm getting ready. I'm about to braid my hair, put everything on, but I want to lay everything out. And I've tried to be as organized as possible, just knowing that this is like a longer endeavor, an event than a normal race because of the concert after, and being very strategic with the rules of what you're allowed to bring. So you are allowed a running vest, which is why I am bringing and wearing my Solomon Skin 5. This is probably the best thing that I've made a purchase of for my running journey. It's the Advanced Skin 5. It's light in the back. There is a pocket back here. I'm not going to fill anything, but there's like pockets all the way in the front. So I will have my phone, my AirPods. I just charged them. They're charged up. No reason these shouldn't work. So I will be listening to some playlists, maybe an audiobook, just because it's what I've been doing while running. So that's gonna go in the vest. Other things that will go in the vest are obviously electrolytes, because I do have the 2 water pouches on it. I'm gonna have them full of water. I'm actually gonna put them in the fridge shortly to keep them nice and cold. I don't know if I'm gonna wanna put electrolytes in it right away. I might put electrolytes in one of them before the race, but I want to have these on me. Either I'll put it in for the race, or I will have it after the race whenever I can get some water. So at least I'll have the option of electrolytes. And then I also have my little energy cookie from Stinger. So I'm gonna carry this and have this before I start running. My friend who I'm meeting, God bless her soul, she was able to get in last minute. So she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to run, but she is doing it. The girl, Kenzie, my friend who I went to her bachelorette, she is so brave because she wasn't training the exact way that she would have liked to, but she does run consistently and works out, but she is going to be a part of the run. So her and I are meeting to go down together, and she has energy gels because despite me trying to go to that shoe store, the like running shoe store, I don't know, like 10 times, and it just never happened and never worked. Even when I went, it was closed. So she has gels, thank goodness. So I'm gonna have 2 gels that I also am keeping in there. I'm gonna bring dates, even though I may not have them, but it's what I'm used to. So at least I'm gonna have dates with me as well, because sometimes that natural sugar is actually like the boost that I need. And then I'm also gonna have my lip chap. Yes, it's just summer Fridays, it's nothing special, but I do wanna make sure my lips are not dry. I just hate that. And then I will be wearing my favorite beautiful DeWalt sunglasses. These are actually like construction sunglasses, but the UV is amazing. They stay on, they don't move. I personally love them. So I'm gonna wear those as well. And then obviously my sports bra, which I always wear. This is a Nike sports bra, unfortunately discontinued, but I will link one. I'll put like a link for my whole running kit below, but I'll link one that's similar. And then despite thinking I was going to wear the shirt that you get for the race, I just don't want to wear something that's going to agitate me because I haven't run in it before. I don't know if it's comfortable. So I'm going to wear my Lululemon cropped tee. There's enough length to pin the bib on at the bottom so it hangs below the vest. And then I'm also wearing my Lululemon Fast and Free leggings. I swear by these as a short girl with curves. So they have the pockets on the side. If I need to put anything in there, I won't because I have my vest, but God forbid. Pocket on the back, drawstring at the waist, which is so helpful for like running consistently. And then my favorite socks, which are Stance socks. I swear by Stance performance socks for running. These are so comfy, they are worth it. And then obviously we know my Brooks that I had to get when I had my running analysis, and I realized these are the ones for me. So I have everything laid out. I'm getting there, I'm getting ready. I'm getting nervous, and I'm gonna do my little light makeup, sunscreen, braid my hair, and that's gonna be it, really. I think that's it. It's like happening in less than 5 hours, so I mean it's gonna happen.
How do you feel? We've arrived.
Very nervous. It's actually quite cold. We did it! We're on the ground. Taking a breather. This is how it went, we're done. The knees. We'll have them.
How do you feel? Tell me.
I'm so tired. I am done. I'm exhausted. But Dochu was great.
Yeah, Dochu was great.
It literally looked like a war zone in there, I'm not gonna lie.
A war?
No, bodies everywhere.
Inside?
Laying down and shit?
Oh, everywhere.
How'd you feel going out the gate? At 7 p.m. sharp. You guys were a little late.
We were
out
late.
The gate.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Where was your mind at when you started the race?
I was excited, but then I got a cramp instantly. Instant cramp.
Mile 1 cramped.
Mile 1 cramp
Hate to see
through
it.
mile 3, roughly.
Okay.
I was like, great first 3 miles with
How'd
the
you
cramp.
overcome this cramp?
I told myself it's too soon to quit, so you gotta keep going.
There it is, folks. Too soon to quit. Never quit.
Never quit,
Be like
because it's
Mary.
always too soon to quit.
Here we are, post-race.
Is the reason why.
Kenzie made a post-race interview.
Kenzie's
Here we are, post-race.
So,
These are really
someone told me that you were the reason that you guys finished at the time that you wanted to finish at. How'd you wrap your head around this race, and what did it take to get you guys there?
Well, honestly, I could say the same thing. Mary really carried me through. I came with this
peer pressured each other.
no plan whatsoever. Mary had a plan for everything. I'm sipping my water. Mary's like, pinch the cup, pinch the cup.
Okay.
She has some
pinch
good
it.
tips
Pinch the
throughout
cup.
the race, so I
Expert.
couldn't have
Yeah.
done it.
Pinch the cup when you get a cup.
That's real teamwork right there. We love to see
It was teamwork. It was.
Hey.
It truly was.
Yeah. I am alive. I just had to revive myself Because let me tell you, recovering from this half is much harder than I thought. Though I ran 19 kilometers 3 weeks ago, I wasn't this distraught. I don't know if it's just the race. I did push my time a lot, so I ran much faster than I anticipated. The recovery, ooh, these legs, these knees, these hips. So I truly was just out of commission all day yesterday. I didn't end up getting to bed till closer to 1 a.m. because of the night race. And let me tell you, my first thought on all of this before I dive in, my first thought, morning races are better than night races. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't think that this was like a bad decision by any means, but sitting around all day in your anticipation, in the anxiety, not easy. And then also not doing too much, but you're still going to move. Before starting the race, I already had 10,000 steps. I ended the day at 40,000 steps, which is pretty crazy considering my normal day is like an 5 to 8,000 steps. So yeah, the legs are sore, the knees are sore. And I think when you do the morning race, obviously that's the start of the day. You get it over with. You can eat how you want to, like you can fuel right after. This way, because we ran the race. Okay, let me pull it back. Let me actually just start with this. This is not the only reason why I ran, but it is one of the reasons. This is the medal. Nike does not give like a traditional medal that you get at any, race, half marathon, even 10K. They always do something unique. So I looked at it, but I haven't fully unpacked it. This is the little box that it comes in. Obviously, it's like a Nike shoebox. We get it. The branding's 10 out of 10. So it says, "Congrats on conquering the night. What will you chase next?" I'm going to think about that because I'm still tired. This is the necklace that you get instead of a traditional medal. So maybe I should just put it on. This was probably one of the reasons why I did it. I just knew that I would have a takeaway that was not a medal that I would just never wear again. This is something, it's not necessarily my style, but I'll probably wear it just out of being proud of myself. So it literally just unhooks like this, just like a magnet. Kind of looks like a bolo tie. I was saying that to Michael. I was like, maybe you should wear this as like a bolo tie with a suit. So you can actually adjust it here by just pulling this. So you can have it set at any length. Let's see, let's get it situated. Yeah, like if you want it really short, you can have it almost like a choker, which is kind of cute. It feels like very much a part of their Jacquemus collaboration, just the way that it's like adjustable. It can be like off-centered or right in the center. That is what I ran for. That and to prove to myself that I could. So I'm not going to get too in detail with the Nike half itself because there is just so many people complaining about it, in all honesty. And like I did mention, the bib pickup was not super smooth. Once I finally got there and things were moving, it wasn't bad. I do think that there was a lot of logistics that they could have done better, especially as a big company, especially as Nike, which is such a global brand. And I've done other races of theirs before, and they've definitely had better logistics. But I also think it's about perspective. Do you want to focus on all the things that went wrong, or do you want to focus on all the things that went right? Like showing up, doing it, crossing the finish line, getting the necklace, feeling accomplished. This was more for me than it was about the experience. And I do have to say that the way the world works now, with social media, with the internet, with vlogging, with content, we think so much about how to present things and how it's going to look, how we're going to talk about it, rather than how we personally will operate in it. And for me, this was a very personal experience. I wanted to prove to myself that I could run a half marathon. My running journey started 10 years ago with a Nike race. I had joined the Nike Run Club in Toronto doing casual runs. They actually pulled me and put me on their campaign for the Nike 15K race in Toronto. So I was the face of the Toronto Nike 15K race around the Toronto Island, which was such a surreal moment. Like when I think back, I'm like, oh, I was like 24. I had no concept how insanely cool that was. Like insanely cool to be like posted on Nike Running, to be on Nike Women. Obviously this was pre what social media is now, but at that point I thought that was like very cool, but I don't think I really grasped how insanely cool that was. And so that really propelled me into my running journey. That was the first time I ever ran a 15K, was in June 2015. And then 2 years later, I decided to run my first half marathon, which was October 2017. And then I stopped running. Like, I truly ran my half marathon. I had to go on a trip right after, like a week after. So I was traveling to Vancouver, Portland, and LA, and I just didn't run. And then I didn't run again until I think like May or June of 2018. Like, it was so bad that I basically just like forgot that I was a runner and that that was something I enjoyed, because I really wanted to prove to myself that I could do a half. I proved to myself I did it, and then I just stopped. And that is not what I'm doing this time. So this time I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. Obviously, you know me, a little high achiever, wanting to always like, you know, do a little bit of the hard work, which this is exactly what it was. So I proved to myself that I could. 8 years later, after really not being a consistent runner within those past 8 years, everything kind of went off the rails in the last couple of years. And I really wanted to get back to running. And I knew for myself that if I didn't have a hard goal or a hard deadline, I just wouldn't do it, because I wasn't doing it. So I gave myself this. I signed up for this half at the end of March. It is now June, and I did the half. I would still say it was an amazing race, a core memory of mine. I saw Doechii perform. That was insane. Also, just like the experience of Nike, like, you're not getting something like this doing just like a city half marathon or a full marathon. You're not getting a bag full of different products and electrolytes and a razor and all these different things. Like, you're not getting a cool shirt for that half. So you're paying the same bid price, actually a little bit less. A lot of city races are like $200 now plus. This was $150. You're getting so much more than you would normally get. And I think we need to have perspective. We as a society just need more perspective. So for me, the biggest takeaway was, when you say you can do something, you truly can. And I'm saying this for you as well. Like, I'm not just saying this to myself, because it's so easy to kind of get caught up in the, oh, that's easy for someone else to do because of their history. Or like, even thinking of me, like my friends, like, well, you've done one before, like you can do it again. All it takes is you to do it once. All you have to decide is that you're going to do it. You don't need to think that that's never going to be you. Obviously, listening to your body, listening to your health, and knowing what's right for you is important. But you need to challenge yourself. And that was this big thing for me, was I needed to be uncomfortable again. I needed to lean into that discomfort, into the challenge, into the friction, and realize, like, I'm the only one responsible for that. I can't blame someone else. I can't play victim, which is an easy thing to fall into. I'm the only person that's responsible for putting myself in a challenging situation, and I'm the only person that's responsible for achieving my own goals. And so this was really a personal journey for me to get through that. And the run itself was really hard. Ended up 7 p.m. We started late just because, again, logistics, and a lot of people, I think, were running late. So we didn't start at 6:30. We ended up starting at 7. Right out of the gate, I had the worst cramp in my lower abdomen. I have never run with a cramp, except for that one last run where I didn't think I had enough food. This cramp was probably 10 times worse. I had this cramp for the first, honestly, 3, if not 4 miles. That's a significant part of a 13-mile race. So I literally was running through a cramp from the gate, and I was like, okay, it's too early to quit. So you got to keep going. I continued to push through. There was hills, there was inclines that I did not anticipate. There was a lot of things that made me want to slow down or stop. Obviously, in a race, there's a lot of people that have different paces than you. Some people will pull over and start walking. There was a lot of people walking in this race, and that, in all honesty, was very tempting for me to start walking with them. But I knew for myself that if I started walking, it was not going to help. I stuck to my gel program. So I had a gel right before the race, and then I had a gel around 7 miles in, and I barely drank any water for the first 9 miles. I think that was a big key to my success, was not filling myself up with water, especially like my belly, my torso, just keeping it as lean as possible. And then after mile 9, I had some sips of my water that I had, and I was drinking the electrolytes at every Gatorade stand. So I think I had 2 or 3 Gatorades before the finish line. And let me tell you, I needed those electrolytes. I was craving electrolytes by the end. The other thing with this was there was like 3 fake finishes. Like there was like you turn a corner, you're like, okay, this must be the finish line. And then you're like, no, this is not it. And then another corner. So that was really hard mentally. Like the last mile and a half, I was like, I don't even know, A, if I want to do this, B, if I can do this. It felt really hard at the very end. And at that point, it was almost 9:30 p.m. Like I'm usually in bed at 10. So in my mind, I'm like, it's bedtime. Why is my body doing this? So that was definitely like the mental aspect of it. But running with my friend Kenzie, I swear that if she wasn't there, I would not have done as well as I did. I would not have finished at the time that I did. We literally started together and we literally crossed the finish line together. And having someone that can hold you accountable, and this is the thing, she didn't train for this because she ended up getting a very last minute bib, which is very rare with almost any race, especially this one. So I had trained all by myself. She also had not trained properly. So we both kind of were like, okay, we have each other in different ways. Having an accountability partner is just so lovely. And at the end of the day, the main thing is I proved to myself that I could, but I just wanted to know that I could do this. Whether I run another half ever again, I don't know. Truly too early to say. I don't feel as like elated as I did after my first half, where I was like, I can do it again, it's no problem. I definitely like, it's hard work. It is really hard work. There's a lot that goes into it. I have no idea how anyone does a full marathon. Anyone who runs a full marathon, like, honestly, you are amazing, because I can't imagine doing that whole run and then like doing it again at the same time. I just couldn't do it. For me, I know the one thing that I'm going to stick with is running. I have enjoyed this disciplined lifestyle that I've had to put in play with training for the half, proving to myself that I can do these things and sticking to my word. In all honesty, it can be so easy to start to like fall off of staying true to your own word, and that is just not who I want to be. When I think of becoming me and the person that I'm going to love and be proud of, it's someone who says something and sticks with it. And especially when it comes to myself, I'm so good at sticking with my word when it comes to other people, doing things that I say for other people, but I need to do that for myself. So I will be going for a run this week, probably in like a day or two when these legs feel a little bit more like normal legs, but just proving to myself that I can do hard things, and that this short-term pain, like truly 2.5 months, not even, of training for this, that's short term in the grand scheme of my entire life. But that reminded me what discipline is, and it reminded me that I can, and I just needed that reminder, and it just made me love myself a little bit more, which honestly, that to me is the biggest win. And like I said before the race, I already knew I was going to be a winner because I was going to cross. The time doesn't matter. How I felt during it, how I looked during it, doesn't matter. The fact that I did it, I'm proud of myself, and I love myself for that, is all that matters. And I could probably go on and on about the half and training and the emotional aspect, but you will see all of that as I continue to lean into this disciplined person that I'm becoming, that I already am, that I'm sticking with, that I'm staying disciplined in. And I just want to thank all of you for the support, like the community here on YouTube, for doing this race, for the support, for the messages I've gotten, for the DMs. Like, honestly, it has helped me so much, and I just appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see all of you on the next one. Bye.